Hi, this is Olaf. I'm back from Puerto Rico and an awesome win at the Ironman 70.3 over there. And this is episode 5 in my road to Texas and my season 2024. Cool. So I was really happy to do the race in Puerto Rico, so 70.3 race, and really I did it to really check about where I'm at, to get this race feeling, go through the process before the race, see how the tapering feels like before the race, and lots of lessons learned, I would say. The days before are always uncomfortable. You always have a bit of twitching here and there. I was able to sort of pinch a nerve in my back doing a really easy run. I don't know where that came from. And then my calf and the left calf seemed to be a little bit tight the 2 days before the race. I also learned 2 days before the race that one of the guys was really strong from Guadeloupe, was going to be there, so that was also a little bit shit. One might have to go stronger than I want to, or I will go stronger than I want to if I want to beat this guy. It was really nice to go through the process. Everything went pretty well. It's a bit of a pain to get there from here with 2-night travel and 2-day travel in both directions. It was 1 night in Miami. Plus arriving in the US, it sort of took 2 hours to get to customs. It was a bit of a long trip, and then we had to wait another 45 minutes for the airport shuttle. So going to Texas, we will just take the airport hotel, where you don't have to wait for any shuttles. Otherwise it went pretty well. As I mentioned, always a bit of nervousness before, but at the end of the day, you want to focus on your own race and just be confident. My legs felt really good, so I was really quite excited to see how this is gonna work out. So then the race itself, the swim went really well. So Noglot, who's from Guadeloupe, he's usually a stronger swimmer than me. So I thought, because it's sort of rolling start, if I start a little bit in front of him, I might catch his feet when he swims past me. But we discussed, and then in the end he ended up starting 10 seconds 2 waves in front of me, I didn't think I was going to see him again, but then a pretty fast swimmer came past me and was able to get on his feet, and he actually brought me back to Olivier, and so we finished the swim together. So actually I swam 10 seconds faster than him, which was great. And then it's a pretty long transition where you have to run on concrete, so almost 5-minute transition. But went all good. Picked up my bike, and then as soon as I get on my bike, for some reason my front tire is already half deflated. So it was obviously fine the weeks before. It was fine in the morning. It was fine when I dropped it off the day before. It was fine in the morning, and then I don't know what I did. I must have sort of touched the valve. I don't know, if somebody was going to deflate it, well, he would certainly half deflate it. But anyway, so I decided to just use the CO2 cartridge and to just re-inflate it. And I was lucky enough that it actually held for the entire race after that. And even when I picked it up, it was still perfectly fine. So really don't know sort of clear what happened. There was definitely no puncture or a slow puncture or whatever. I lost 1.5 minutes in that process, and so the great swim was sort of for nothing. But yeah, legs felt really good. Most important thing at that point was where was my heart rate going to be, and that was also really good. I was at 130 average, so for the first half of the race, which is more like Ironman target, or even sort of low Ironman target. And so that was pretty cool. At the 70.3 race I did back in November in Guadeloupe, I was at 150, with obviously much less training and much less preparation, etc. So yeah, so this was really, really good. And then about where was it exactly? After maybe 35k or so, there was a guy who was pretty fast past me at an aid station, and so I decided to ride with him, sort of at 20-30 meters behind. He actually pushed quite hard, so yeah, I had to really focus on sort of keeping that pace, but that was pretty good because we made up some good time. He actually brought me back all the way to where Olivier was, but yeah, I let him go a little bit because my heart rate was starting to, I was sort of at 145, which is a little bit higher than what I ideally wanted before the run, so I let him go. And then Olivier was sort of 100 meters up the road, so I decided to stay where I was and not make the effort to catch him. Was a little bit of a mistake, because later on, when there were only sort of 30 kilometers left, so half an hour or 25 minutes or a bit less was left, then all of a sudden Olivier, because initially there was sort of one lap where all the guys on the first lap were still there, so it was quite busy, and then when they do their turnaround, we are on our own, only the guys who are going back to transition. So and then all of a sudden there were two guys in front of Olivier, and he just caught up with them, and I was 200 meters back. And I don't think they were riding legal distance, because they were really together, and obviously at that stage there were not that many referees, so they were just drafting. At least that's what it looked like from where I was, and I tried to catch up or to get closer, but my heart rate was at 150, and so I decided to let them go. So I lost them. Unfortunately, it was quite annoying, but they slowed down really a lot just before transition, and so I was able to catch them, and we were together in transition. And because I already had my socks on, I had a super fast transition, so I passed two guys in transition, and the last one sort of 300 meters after the beginning of the run. So so that was great. Legs felt good. I was very quickly sort of at 4:15, 4:20 pace, and pretty much held that the entire race. There's definitely some hills, so in the end sort of settled at 4:25 average. So Olivier was 3 minutes behind me. Apparently he had a cramp at the beginning of the run. He didn't have his bike. He had to rent one, so that might have fucked up his race as well. But he blew up at the end on the run. In any case, and me, I was really able to just run steady. My heart rate was a bit high, but it was hot. There was no clouds. They gave out some ice packs, which was really awesome. In like small plastic bags, ice and water. You could just stuff them in your suit, and it was really the first time I had some kind of a cooling system actually that worked, because at the aid station, if you just pour ice water on top of you after 200 meters, the effect is sort of gone. But yeah, it felt good. Legs felt great. Didn't have any pains at all during the run, and I was able to sort of push decently when I needed to, or when I had the impression that I want to make sure nobody's coming back from behind. And so yeah, it was a great win and age group win, and finished 6th overall. All right, so the lessons learned from this. What would I say? Yeah, don't freak out in the days before. It's nice to have gone through that, because it's been a while. I did an Ironman branded race, and a while I did an Ironman. So it's always good to remind you, okay, this is gonna feel weird and this is gonna feel like shit. Several times in training, after stepping off the bike, I felt just shit. The legs don't really feel that great. How can I run? After that, the fact that you always have something twitching, so that's just normal. So just accept it. I think that's learning number one. Or then number two is definitely to try and go with people if you can. On the swim, it's absolutely crucial. I mean, the best swims I've had and fast swims I've had were definitely drafting somebody. So it's obviously not easy. It doesn't always work, but if it sort of feels easy, steady behind somebody, it's as quick as when you're going sort of reasonably hard on your own. So start at the beginning of the race, go pretty hard and grab some feet and just stay there. It doesn't matter if the guy doesn't swim straight, it's still going to be faster than you going on your own in a straight line. So I will definitely focus on that. Start as much in front as possible, and just get somebody and jump on his feet. On the bike as well, if you can sort of just focus on somebody and go with it. Again, I hope in Texas it's not going to be any drafting issues, because that's really, 2018 there, it was apparently really a draft fest, and that's obviously super annoying. Going forward, I think the focus is really not to do anything stupid. Right now my legs don't hurt, my calves are all fine, my tendons are good, so keep it that way. Don't take any risks, don't fall off the bike, don't get sick, and don't get injured. Most important, if I can just get a little bit more training in, and I did up to 22 hours so far. I did this week is recovery week, but I'm still doing 18 hours, and we're gonna do some more volume. My coach already said that right now is we're gonna do a little bit of wheel training, which I suppose is more swimming, a little bit more volume on the swim. Right now I did sort of 12-13K, so probably can do a bit more there. Definitely need to do some longer runs, so do a bit more volume on the run. We did sort of up to 60K the last few weeks, and so the idea is, I guess, to go a little bit higher than that, and especially do one long run, up to 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, or up to whatever. I did 3 hours in the past. I'm not sure if that's going to be necessary, but maybe 2:30 to 2 hours 45, easy. And on the bike, I guess we can still do a little bit more, but I did 6 hours bike. I guess we can do 6 hours. I mean, in the past I've done some sessions 6 hours plus 1 hour run, or 5 hours plus 2 hour run, or 7 hour bike. So I guess and do another 4 hour session in the middle of the week, or sometimes I've even done 2 6-hour bikes, so 6 hour bikes twice a week. So I'm sure my coach will find ways, or we will find ways to keep me on my toes, and looking forward to it. It's very motivating, and depending on the conditions, hopefully we can get close to 9 hours, but that will really depend on the bike. And so I did 1 hour 31 on the half, and it's quite hot, quite hilly, so that's if I can go a little bit slower, and do that twice. Something like a 310, 315 would be awesome, and I think based on where I'm at now, definitely possible in Texas. And so it's all going to depend on how I manage on the swim and how I manage on the bike. So exciting as usual.
Bravo! Premier!
Hi, Nora. We come from Germany. Hola,
All right, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, can't wait to see what's going to happen next.